Do you want to get into the old world on a budget? Do you want to play an army that doesn't have a large model count so you can get painted and on the tabletop quickly? Well, Ogres might be the faction for you. As with my Lizardman video, the first bit of advice I have is don't buy direct from Games Workshop. Full disclosure, I have an affiliate with Element Games, so if you use the links below, I do get a small kickback. But the most important thing you can do is find a safe, reputable third-party seller that gives you a good discount that you can trust and use them. This will give you, more savings. You can spend that money on paints, more models, bases, whatever it is you want to, or just, get into the hobby at a lower price point. Cost of living is pretty high at the moment. Again, as with the Lizardman video, this is an Age of Sigmar range. What that means is it does come with round bases instead of square ones, so you will need to buy square bases separately. Again, I will put the link to the bases on Element Games. However, it's a direct product, so you don't get any discount on these. I would look online, see if there's any that you want to buy. Etsy's a good place to pick them up, or you might want to maybe look into something like resin bases. There's lots of different websites that you can pick up various options there. As always, when you're looking at starting a new army, the best place to look is to see if there's some sort of collective army box, whether that's a Spearhead or an army box or a battle force or a Christmas box if you're shopping for an army around November, December time. In this case, there's the Ogre Spearhead. This is really good value. There's a lot of good stuff in here, and it scales up quite nicely for 2k if you did want to go for maybe a second one. So if you get that direct from Games Workshop, £87.50, or if you use the third-party seller, you're looking at just under £75. But what do you get in the box? Well, first of all, you get a Tyrant or Bruiser model. I really like this model. Great stuff. I haven't used it in my list here today, but it is a solid one. I am seeing people run Death Stars with a couple of units in. This is something that you could, if you were comfortable doing so, quite easily convert into a battle standard bearer. It's got the pose right. All you need to do is chop off the top of the spear and put on a banner from one of the other kits, or you could even make your own, something along those lines. Yeah, lovely model. Costs £24 if you buy it separately. Secondly, going the right way, there are Ogre Bulls. Now, Ogre Bulls are the meat and potatoes of the Ogre army. And I don't mean that as in you're going to be running loads of Ogre Bulls. What I mean is pretty much every Ogre infantry is based on the Ogre body. You buy lead belchers, they come with cannons and the Ogre body. You buy iron guts, they come with great weapons and the Ogre body. So this is just the standard default. It's a great place to start. You get 6 of them. If you're writing an Ogre list, you have to run at least 1 unit. So great start here. You get 6, jobs are good. Then we've got the lead belchers. So lead belchers haven't been performing super well for me in the old world so far. If you want to run them, nothing's stopping you. But again, like I say, they come with the bull bodies. What I would do is look at buying a box of iron guts that comes with 4 great weapons and use 2 sets of command and 2 great weapons from each to give you 2 sets of 4 iron guts. So you've got a champion with a great weapon, a standard bearer, and a bellower with the hand like that, and then a normal model with a great weapon. 2 great weapons per squad. Nice and easy. It's not even conversion. You're just using bits from different boxes, putting them together. Really simple. But again, if you do really like the lead belchers, go for it. Moving on, we've got the Mournfang Riders. This is a little bit of an odd one. Normally they come as a box of 4. In this box they've come as a box of 2, or just 2 individual models. This is fine. Running 2 at 1,000 points feels pretty okay, and it scales up quite nicely. You can easily run 2 units of 3 if you want to buy a box of them to upgrade yourself to up to 2,000 points. Or if you bought a second one of the Spearhead boxes, you'd get 4 and you could run a single unit 4 there. Finally in the box, we've got the Iron Blaster. So the Iron Blaster is a cannon on the back of a heavy chariot. Great stuff. You can shoot it in the early turns, threaten some large redden monsters. It's one of the few things that you can deal with them at range is cannons. And if you misfire and can't shoot next turn, no worries. Just position to do a charge. Jobs are good. These are pretty solid. I really like them. I think running 2 is a great start, but 1 at 1,000 points feels pretty solid. And that takes the total of the box up to £138.75, so about 140 quid. If you're buying that from direct Games Workshop, you're saving just over £50. If you're buying it from a third party, you're saving about 60 quid there. So really good savings coming from that box, even if you don't end up using the Tyrant model for this 1,000 point list. Then, as I said, Iron Guts. Iron Guts are the real main battle line unit that you're going to be using in Ogres. So I think buy one box of them, make 2 units. Job's a good one. Like I said before, 4 great weapons in there. Put 2 on the squad of 4. Put 2 on another squad. Fill out the rest with command. Great. We're only using a single unit here, so you don't even have to test the waters with the most basic of conversion. But that's how I'd use them to get the most out of my models. And £28, it is a direct order model, so if you buy it from Element or another third party, you don't actually get a discount on it, but they're just core. They're so core to the Ogre army that I definitely recommend buying them. Finally, there's the Stonehorn kit. So the Stonehorn is something that I see in pretty much every Ogre list. You're typically going to see a Tyrant or a Bruiser on a Stonehorn. This gives you an 18-inch bubble of leadership if it's your general, or same if you put a Battle Standard Bearer on there as well. You can run 2. It does start to get a little bit expensive. I prefer seeing just 1. But I think this is something that you're going to be happy to run at 1,000 points, and you're going to be wanting to run in every 2K list you write for Ogres. So, total there, that passes £160.50 for Games Workshop, or third party puts you just in under £150. Now, not quite as much savings on this one as the Seraphon or Lizardman, but this is one that has a lot more left over after the fact. So, going into the list, what have we got here? 1,000 points. I've gone with a Bruiser on Stonehorn, Great Weapon, Talisman of Protection, Death Cheater. Nice and simple. This is, your big, beefy T6, lots of wounds-ridden monster. Great weapon because you've got a great strength. May as well make the most of that. Just hit them hard and lean on the ridden monster as well a little bit for extra damage. And then a Talisman of Protection for a 5-up ward, and Death Cheater. Death Cheater is a 5 points great name, I think they're called. Basically, what it means is once per game, you get to make your opponent reroll 1 successful wound. This is really important if they've got something like Monster Slayer. If they roll that 6 to kill you straight up, just use your once per game. Tell them, sorry mate, reroll that 1. Hopefully they don't get another 6 through. Just gives you a little bit of defensiveness. Or if, worst comes to worst, you're low health, someone shoots a cannon at you, gives you a second chance that 1 on the wound roll. Moving into core, we've got a unit of 4 Ogre Bulls. You can run them as a minimum 3. I quite like a 4th one, gives you a little bit more in the impact hits. Iron Fists and Light Armor, that gets you up to a 5-up save, so not super beefy, but beefy-ish, given that they've got 3 wounds per model. Also give them an extra attack, and they've got Armor Bane 1 baked in as well. So 4 attacks each, reasonably cheap for what they do. Jobs are good. Then there's 4 Iron Guts. These are great. They've got great weapons, heavy armor, so 5-up save again, but they hit significantly harder than the Ogre Bulls do. Full command here, I've gone for a Gutlord, Standard Bearer, and Bellower, and I've also paid to give them a Veteran as well. This gives you a reroll on pretty much all your leadership tests that you have to take on them, which is just very valuable, especially because there's no Battle Standard Bearer in this list, and they do have Leadership 8, which is pretty good, but having a reroll on Leadership 8 means it's very rare that you're actually going to have issues and run away. This is a really good place to put your magic banners. I didn't, because I actually had too many models to fit into this list, so I wanted to make sure I was being efficient. But Iron Guts, great place to put magic banners. Then there's the Iron Blaster, previously spoken about, cannon on the back of the Rhinox. Great stuff. Want to have that in. Lovely model as well. I think that'd be a really fun project to paint. Finally, rounding out with 2 Mournfang Cavalry. These are really solid. I really like Mournfang. They're not the tankiest. They're okay. They're T4 with, I think it's 4 wounds each. They have a 4-up save between the heavy armor and the armored hide. But they're really, really hard hitting. They've got D3 impact hits with some AP from the Mournfang cavalry there. They've also got great weapons, so they slap hard when they make it in. Great unit. You're not going to be upset to have them. 2 is fine at 1,000 points. I'd like to go up to 4 at 2K, or maybe 2 units at 3. You can run 1 unit per 1,000 points, so definitely something to expand up to. And that's it for the list. Just a reminder, on top of that, there's also 6 additional bulls, or 6 bull bodies, and 4 lead belcher guns as well. And there's a Tyrant or Bruiser model in there. So you're already looking at about 1,400 points. I'd recommend converting the lead belchers into additional Iron Guts, or at least making 2 more Iron Guts so you can run it as a unit of 6 instead of a unit of 4. Are there any armies that you're particularly interested in getting started with, but don't really know where to begin? Put it in the comments. I do read and try to respond to as many of those as possible, and I'm trying to make one of these every couple of weeks, so if there's particular interest in one of the factions, I will bump that up in the priority list. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, there's a link to subscribe over here. I really appreciate the support I've received over the last few months, and I'm looking forward to improving the channel and bringing you more content as the months go on. Down below are all the links. There's the Element affiliate link, all of our links to Discord, the 40k sister channel, everything else that we're doing down below. And on this side, there's another video. You don't have to click it, but you could. You could click it.